Pick that cop. Move along, huh? Come on, Ellis. Drive that nigga. Pick that gun. Move along, huh? Here. What you doing, boy? Come on. 240 for Bob.
Sun gon' set here.
Sun down the mountain.
Sun gon' set here.
Sun down the mountain.
Sun gon' set here.
Sun down the mountain. Teach me, Lord.
Edward, get him water.
I just work here. I just work here.
Shut up.
I just work here.
Shut up.
Lord, teach me not this world. I'll be back here.
Nigga, get up.
I'll be back here.
Sun down the mountain.
I'll be back here.
What you looking at, boy? Keep picking, boy.
Alright, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone of Ruel. Peace and salutations to those who elect. Alright, and what you just seen was a little bit from the movie 12 Years a Slave. And it was the part in the movie in which they were picking cotton. And I wanted to highlight that because just gives you a little insight too of what we went through while we were on slavery. That's what I wanted to touch on. This part of this during this video was basically the aspect of picking cotton and how gruesome it was during slavery, and to show you the brutality of the so-called white man and how that he has a lot to pay for. You know what I'm saying? So if you pay attention during the video, right, they had the woman out there picking as well, while Jake was humming. All right, they had the so-called white man with the whip in the background monitoring every move you did. All right, and then they had one Jake, because normally when around the time when they're picking cotton is during the summer. All right, so it's long and hot days. All right, so Jake, not getting any water, obviously fainted, and then as you see the Edomite, all right, the slave owner comes over, kicks Jake while he's on the ground, fainted. So this can give you an insight into how merciless the so-called white man was on us, because a lot of people make jokes about it and stuff now, but picking cotton was a very gruesome thing, and we happen to speak on it. We met up with the brothers today. We lightly touched on the subject, how picking cotton was a hard and gruesome thing, so that made me do a little bit of research on it. All right, I just got a few examples and precepts, and Lord willing, it's edifying into showing you how merciless the so-called white man was, and how and the reason why he has a lot to pay for. All right, so first scripture I'm gonna get James 2:3-13. It says, "For he shall have judgment without mercy that have showed no mercy, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment." All right, so the Lord is not going to have mercy against you Edomites. Contrary to what a lot of people say, of course the Lord is a merciful power. You know what I'm saying? But the scriptures just said he's not going to have mercy because they showed no mercy. All right, so the Lord is not going to have mercy against you Edomites, which are you so-called white people. All right, and we're going to read one of the reasons why right now. We're going to read how you Edomites showed no mercy to us during slavery. All right, this was only about 100 years ago. All right, what's that? 4 generations in your family? All right, it wasn't that long ago, 100 years ago. Scriptures say a day scriptures say, well, let me just get these few examples I had, so first, what I was reading into, basically, the conditions that we went through during slavery. All right. It's going to show you how Esau showed no mercy to us, why you should always have that fire of hatred for the Edomites, because they hate you. It's a spiritual thing. Like I was watching a video the elder Ariala did, and he was basically showing you how Esau hates us. It's just rooted in his spirit to hate us. It's more than just a fleshly thing of why we can't get along. The so-called white man hates us, and it's in his spirit to hate us. So we shouldn't like him either. All right, and we're going to read why. We're going to read what he did to us. So this is an article I got. So I'm not going to read this whole thing, obviously, just a little bit. I wanted to read right here. It says, when a new hand, one unaccustomed to the business, is sent forth for the first time into the field, he is whipped up smartly and made up for that day to pick as fast as he can possibly. At night it is weighed so that his capability in cotton picking is known. He must bring in the same weight each night following. If it falls short, it is considered that it has been laggard, and a greater or less number of lashes is the penalty. An ordinary day's work is 200 pounds. A slave is accustomed to picking is punished if he or she brings in a less quantity than that. All right. So on an average day of picking cotton, we had to pick 200 pounds of cotton. All right. That's a gruesome thing. That's that's extremely difficult to do. Picking 200 pounds, that's a hard ass work, hard ass labor. All right. And cotton picking was most prominent, like I said, during summer. So it was hot, long days, which is why you're seeing in the video, you had the Jake fainted. All right. And what did the Edomite do? Showing no mercy, came over and just kicked him while he was on the ground, telling him to get up. That's why we read in James that the Lord's going to have judgment without mercy. So the Lord's going to jack you Edomites up. And we're going to be able to, harm you Edomites as well. All right. The Lord's going to give you into our hands. He's going to make y'all our slaves again. All right. When you read Revelation 13:10, it says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. So we're waiting on this patiently. The day that these roles are switched, we're going to have you Edomites out in the field picking cotton, and we ain't going to give y'all no rest, right? Because you didn't give us no rest. All right, that's actually something I was reading as well. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I believe it's right here. Let me see. Right here, I believe. Yeah. So it said, the hands are required to be in the cotton field as soon as it is light in the morning, and with the exception of 10 or 15 minutes, which is given them at noon to swallow their allowance of cold bacon, they are not permitted to be a moment idle until it is too dark to see. And when the moon is full, they oftentimes labor till the middle of the night. They do not dare to stop even at dinner time, nor return to the quarters, however late it be, until the order to halt is given by the driver. So as you see the condition that they had, Judah in, all right, they had the so-called blacks, which go back to the tribe of Judah. As you see, they had them working all day in the sun until the moon came out when they couldn't see. And even sometimes when it was a full moon, like you just read, They had them working all throughout the night. So they gave us no rest. What is that? What is that a sign of or act of? That's an act of no mercy. All right. So we're reading about how you Edomites had no mercy to us. All right. You had us working all day in the hot heat. All right. You showed no mercy to us. So that's why when we get y'all in slavery, we're not going to show no mercy. All right. People always ask us why we're so mad. You know, because this is why we're so mad, man. We're reading the history of our people. You know, this is not just any old people. This is our people. This is our great grandfathers and great grandmothers that we're reading of. You know, and through the spirit, if you know about reincarnation, and this was you, all right, in your past life, in your past lives. All right. Let me see if there was a little bit more. Oh yeah, right here. All right, so after we were done picking cotton, it says, "This done, the labor of the day is not yet ended by any means. Each one must then attend to his respective chores, one feeding the mules, another the swine, another cuts the wood." So they had us working even after we finished picking cotton, man. You damn devils, man. Had us working all day with no break. And you see the excuse my language, but the shit that they fed us. All right. When I was reading in the middle right here, what food that they fed us, man. I'll see if I can find it. If I can't, basically, let me see. Slack, give me 1 second. Oh, I know what I can do. Yeah, right here. Yeah, right here it says, then a fire must be kindled in the cabin. The corn ground and a small hand mill and supper and dinner for the next day in the field prepared. All that is allowed them is corn and bacon, which is given out at the corn crib in smoke house every Sunday morning. Each one receives as his weekly allowance 3.5 pounds of bacon and corn enough to make a peck of meal. All right, this is all we got. No tea, coffee, sugar, with the exception of a very scanty sprinkling now and then. No salt. So as you see, the Edomites fed us bacon, all right, pig, which is an abominable food to us, and corn. All right. But what stuck out to me was how we got our it said weekly allowance of food. So these Edomites would give us food for 1 week, meaning we get our batch of food, our little bit of bacon and corn per person on Sunday, and that whole week we had to live off of it. All right, so as you know, a couple days in, there was no fridge or nothing back then, or at least I don't think so. Nah. So a couple days in, you already know the food is going stale. You know what I'm saying? 4 days in, by the time you hit Thursday, the bacon stale, corn stale. So they give us one batch of food for the whole week. That's evil. All right, that should show you the true nature of the so-called white man. All right, that's evil, man. That's wicked. All right. So this is why you should have no any hint of forgiveness for the so-called white man. They got to pay for what they've done to us. All right. Let me get these last few scriptures. Obadiah 1 and let me read. I'm gonna read Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them. All right, strangers talking about the Gentiles, the ones who don't know that they're Israelites, but then will come back to their heritage, the ones calling themselves after heathen names. All right. It says, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. All right, now what are these scriptures clearly talking about? Clearly, irrefutable proof that the scriptures are talking about slavery and how we're going to put you Edomites, you so-called white people, you Europeans, into slavery. All right, why? Because that's what y'all did to us. And we're not just any old people. We're the Lord's chosen special people, the Israelites. Yasha Allah. All right. Everything you've done to us, we're going to do unto you double. All right. Verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against. Oh, my Salaki, I skipped the verse. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve. All right. Now, who are the people that served hard bondage and were forced to serve it? The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Those were the people on earth forced to serve a hard bondage. Okay. So what is the Lord saying? He's finally going to give us rest. All right, that's ultimately what we're all fighting for, while we're enduring in this truth to finally rest, to be at ease. All right. Verse 4, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? Talking about America. Now the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the sceptre of the rulers. All right. It's like, I think I'm saying that wrong. All right. But basically, man, the Lord's going to come and take you Edomites out of power, man. He's going to destroy Babylon. All right. He's going to come and take you Edomites, you wicked ass Edomites out of power, man. Because the people that did this to us, all right, they even had our children out there picking cotton. Okay. And remember what it said. It said, it said somewhere in here around, I think it was this paragraph, but each person on their first day of picking cotton, they had to always pick that same amount. All right. And you best believe it applied to the women and the children as well, because Esau showed no mercy. So they showed no mercy to our children, all the way to our women and to us. They showed us no mercy, man. And these people, the Edomites, all right, you so-called white people who did this 100 years ago are the same people today. All right, the spirit doesn't change. There's nothing new under the sun. So you guys got a lot to pay for, man. All right. Ultimately, in the kingdom, the Israelites under Yahweh Shai are going to be the ones ruling. All right, and we're going to have you nations in subjection. All right, and we're going to be able to enact our complete revenge on you Edomites, man. All right, but while we're in this truth, it's all about endurance and patience. All right, because the Lord surely have looked upon the acts that they've done to us. He's not going to let it go. He's not going to let them go unpunished, man. All right. Hey, but with that, Lord's willing, you Akim, you're edified. All praises to Yahweh, Bashim Al-Shai, Bashim Akakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.